So a lot of people want to know, when I was locked up, how come most of the people I hung out with weren't the same race as me? How come I didn't hang out with straight white boys like they do on the West Coast? So for this video here, I'm going to be telling you the truth about white boys when they're locked up inside a prison. I'm the best, finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga, yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K Fraud TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit that notification bell, man, so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Frog, and if this is your first time tuning in, almost everything we talk about over here is either prison or jail related. And for this one here, I'm going to be telling y'all the truth about white boys when they're locked up. All right? And this is coming from my perspective. And as you see, I'm a white boy myself. But the reason that I wanted to do this right here is because there's a lot that comes with being a YouTuber, all right? When you're a YouTuber, you get a lot of hate comments. You get a lot of hate thrown at you, you know? And it doesn't matter if you go right, people from the left gonna talk shit. And it don't matter if you go left, people on the right gonna talk shit. So you kind of like try to even it out and go directly down the line, you know, to where it hits on both ends. But then when you didn't just completely side with one side, the others talk shit, and vice versa. You feel me? So you can't make everybody happy. But one of the things that I've been getting thrown at me for years is hate comments. And believe it or not, I get more hate comments from my own race than I do people of another color. And the reason for that is because my circle, you know, my clique, my squad, my choice of people to hang out with weren't all my same color. So I feel like letting y'all know how it is when you're a white boy and you're locked up. And the reason why me, myself, didn't surround myself with straight white boys when I was in prison. And I'm going to let y'all know the truth of how white boys are in prison down here on the East Coast. Okay? Now, it might be different somewhere else on the other side of the world. But what I'm speaking on is facts for anybody who's been to prison down this way. You feel me? Now, of course, one thing I do want to let y'all know is, regardless your skin color, Frog fuck with you. I'm from South Florida. We don't go off of colors down here. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you're white, black, Spanish, Asian, purple, green. I don't care what color you are. You know what I'm saying? We don't go off colors over here. And the way I grew up, I wasn't surrounded by all white people, you know. I grew up in an area where we had more blacks than we did whites, you know. But there was still whites. And, of course, we had Spanish people. And color was never really a thing to me, you know. You may see in movies people hanging out with their own race and shit. And that stuff that you see in movies does not apply on the East Coast. It doesn't apply down here. You feel me? And if it doesn't apply down here, you can't really, you know, hate somebody due to the fact that it isn't like that where they're from. You right? Now, down here, the way it is with white boys inside of prison is you got some of them that are on that. Some of them that are down the rock out, stand up for themselves. But the chances of that is slim. You know what I'm saying? I was literally, every camp I went to, it would have been me and a couple other white boys that was literally willing to stand up for themselves, that was willing to rock, that wasn't affiliated, okay? Now, of course, you'll find white boy gang members and shit that, you know, live like that, but they got backup, you know, they got brothers. You know, they find themselves in situations where if they're really not living like that, they got a clique behind them, a squad, an army, that's gonna push them to, they gotta act like they're living like that. You feel me? But one thing I can tell you is, me, I
I get in the shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to make money. I like to make plays. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I like to do something with my time. I don't like to just sit there. You feel me? I like to meet new people. You know, I like good business. Shit, even bad business passes time. You know, problems, fights, wars, stabbing incidents. You know, these type of things that are dangerous still make your time go by. Because your mind's on those instead of, you know, your time. And every institution I went to, there wasn't really any white boys man enough that wasn't in a gang. There was none of them man enough to be doing any of that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? A lot of them tuck their tail. You know, they be scared because we're outnumbered in prison. You know, the ratio's a high difference. You feel me? You might land in an institution that has, say, 1,000 inmates. And out of them 1,000 inmates, there might be 200 that are white. But out of them 200, damn near probably 75 or 100 of them are old people. Old men. And they 60s and higher. You see? So it really don't, you know, make a lot of people want to stand on their own. Me, I stand on my own. It doesn't matter what race I'm around. You feel me? But I did notice that when it came to certain things inside of prison, the white boys would be the one to do it. When it came to being a hold down man, holding someone else's contraband, you know, white boys were normally the hold down men. You feel me? Like, that's normally what their job was, you know. 9 times out of 10, if I came across a black person or a Spanish person and they had a hold down man, that hold down man was a white boy. You feel me? A fall man, which is the one that literally takes the fall for the contraband. 9 times out of 10, it was a white boy. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of things that I want to do. These are the type of things that I didn't want to put in people's heads that I would do. So I was different. You get what I'm saying? And I actually had to, you know, gain my respect and go through certain things that some white boys never would have had to go through because they curled first quarter and decided to be a hold down man or a fall man. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of things that I did not want anybody to even think they could, like, come at me and pressure me about. You see what I'm saying? When you see somebody getting their shit taken, when they're being extorted, or they're paying rent, down here in Florida, on the East Coast, 9 times out of 10, it was a white boy that you seen doing that. You get what I'm saying? I never wanted to be in that type of category, you know, and it wasn't that I have anything against white boys, you know, I'm white. I can't help the fact that I was brought up different than the others. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to do their time like that and I choose to do my time this way, it shouldn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we don't go off of colors down here. So it just happened to be the fact that the ratio numbers are different, you know, when it comes to who folds, who crumbles, and who stands tall. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people ain't got what it takes when they're white. Because due to the simple fact that they're outnumbered. They feel like there's no other route. You know, they feel like there's nothing they can do about it. They got to just be a yes man and agree to everything until they finally get outside that gate. That's how it is down here in Florida when it comes to white boys. And I'll never forget this. A female kitchen staff once, when it came down to doing like business with cell phones and shit, me and my dog went and approached this kitchen staff lady. She was the lady at the time at this institution I was bringing phones in. My homeboy was black, I was white. And when we approached her and everything, she looked dead ass, like, in my eyes and told me she won't do business with me. My dog wanted to introduce me to her so that way, you know, I could, you know, bring another type of, you know, route to the table to where me and her can do business as well. And she looked dead ass at me and told me she don't do business with white boys. And she was white. She looked dead at me and said she don't do business with white boys because they snitch too much. You feel me? And to be honest with you, from my bid and from my experience and from as many people as I seen rock out or tell a big portion of them higher than the others were white boys. The ones that are most likely to check in first in the East Coast in prison are white boys. Believe it or not, you know, and that's why I say not the ones that are gangbanging, because obviously those are ones that are going to try to say, nah, bro, never that, bro, da-da-da-da-da, yada, 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 boy, I rock, I this, I that. Of course, you got brothers. You have to rock, because if you don't rock, the little bit of protection and a little bit of, you know, people that are on your side will be against you now. So everyone will be against you, like they are off rip to people who don't gangbang, you see? But when it comes to a white boy that isn't affiliated, there's a couple of them that stand tall. And for anybody who's been to prison down here on the East Coast that's a white boy that is not affiliated will know what I'm saying is facts. If you're one of them white boys that was rocking out, that is not in a gang, and you were handling up and nobody was trying you and everybody respected you, then you wouldn't feel as proud of yourself if what I was saying wasn't true. Think about it. Then that means every white boy was sticking up for themselves. Every white boy had respect. It wouldn't mean that you did anything different than anybody else. But you know what I'm saying is facts. You get what I'm saying? And the ones who tend to talk shit to me and hate and run their mouth that are white be either someone who's never been to prison, who will probably never go to prison, don't even know nothing about this lifestyle, you know, that's just going off of shit that they hear stories on and watch TV on, or, you know what I'm saying, or just they choose not to like me because they don't know me. Or two, it's someone from a whole nother coast where their shit's ran totally different than it is down here. You see what I'm saying? And it isn't that down here's wrong, up there's right, because we got certain things that we do that they do different up there that they'd be wrong in. But it's just, it's different. That's the easiest way to explain it. Because if we're wrong in 4 places where they're right at, then we're right in 4 places where they're wrong at also, in different, you know, subjects and categories. But that's why it's just, you can't blame them just like you can't blame us how we were brought up. You see what I'm saying? And it be people who never ever been through any type of situation that choose to hate when they don't really know how it really is for a white boy in prison. You see, and a lot of them, which make it number 3, would be the ones that are just mad that they could never get along with the other race. So they choose to follow the leader and follow all the other people that are against the other races. You get what I'm saying? Me growing up, some of my closest homeboys were black. Some of my closest homeboys were Spanish. Still to this day, me and one of my other dogs are the only 2 in the whole squad that are white. You understand? And that's normal to us. You get what I'm saying? That isn't anything eye-catchy or anything to me that feels wrong about everybody being different colors, you know? Because like I said, we don't go off colors down here, you know? And I love the fact that I can get along with multiple, you know, races. Why would I want to, you know, single myself down to just one race like there's something wrong with everybody else that's a different color? You see? And that's what I feel like a lot of people who throw them hate comments out there about me being cool with different races, they just low-key be hating that they could never get along with themselves. You feel me? Or they constantly got tried by them other races, or them other races did something to them that made them hate them, or they're just following the leader of their friends or the people that they think are their friends but are really just using them to have more numbers to stand up for what they believe in. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, just because you couldn't get along with these other races and get respect from these other races, you know, don't hate somebody who could. You get what I'm saying? When in all reality, down here on the East Coast, the white boys are literally the softest. They literally are the ones that get tried the most, picked on the most, extorted, robbed, beat up, put down on, check in the most, and fear for their life. Literally. And it's facts. For anyone who's did time in Florida prison, you know it's facts. You know what I'm saying? You're most likely going to see somebody of a different race run up and stab somebody than you will a white boy. Unless that white boy is affiliated. and if he's a GD, or he's claiming he's a blood, or he's claiming he's in some type of gang, you know, Unforgivens or whatever it is. You feel me? It may be different on a different coast, but of course, I've never been to prison there, and I know it could be different. I'm speaking on how it is down here, you see? But the politics be totally, you know, crisscross when it comes to shit like that, from up top or down this way. So when you find yourself in prison and you're a white boy, people are going to try to push over on you. People are going to off rip think you get money, that they can benefit off you. You know, the more baby bluish your eyes are, the more soft and sweeter you look. You know what I'm saying? Why you think so many white boys want tattoos? They think tattoos is a precaution to make people back off. But who is it that they want to back off? Think of it. You think it's other white people? No. It's like they want tattoos to look all hood and everything, so that way they can look like they're on the same type of lifestyle as the same races that they're not cool with. The same races that they bow down to. So they feel like the more hooder they look, neck tattoos, face tattoos, you know, try to walk with a little dip and shit, act like they got swag, you know. When they do that, they're doing that because they're trying to get cool points to coast under the radar from these other races. You get what I'm saying? And when you're somebody that gets along with blacks and Spanish and you're a white boy, the white boys in prison that are in the gang, they don't really fuck with you like that. They're not cool with you like they are all the other white boys. They're only cool with you when they need help. If something's going to go down and they feel like you're the only one that can actually, you know, get to where maybe you can help them out. Like if there's a war about to go down and they don't know if it's one of theirs that are going to get stabbed, they'll come up and try to be all friendly and question you and play like they your dog now, like they fought with you and everything, when in all reality they just want to make sure it's not one of them or them that's getting stabbed. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. So it's like the same white boys that y'all, you know, block out and don't want nothing to do with because he's cool with other races, be the same white boy you run to. Same white boy you want to run to for information or to relay messages to the other gangs because you can't do it yourself. You see? But you chose that path. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people may think when it comes to prison, you know, it doesn't matter what color you are. You know, anybody can be a savage, right? That's what a lot of people would think. And it's true. But at the same time, when you break down the statistics and the facts of who bows down the most or who does the most scariest shit on the East Coast, it's going to be the white boys, regardless. Straight up. I've been on the bus, I've been in holding cells, I've been in transit, I've been in processing, and I've seen white boys. You know, you'll see 30 inmates and you'll see about 3-4 white boys. And the first thing they do is you could sense it. And I remember talking to my head like, this motherfucker gonna try to be friendly with me, dog. Like I already knew. You see them when they finally see you, it's like a light bulb goes up in their head. Like they're just looking for someone to attach to look like there's two of y'all, like y'all are dogs, when really they're just trying to use you, you know, to get through it, to make it look like y'all are in it together, like there's two of y'all now instead of one. You feel me? And I'd be sitting there like this, and after so many times of it happening, you know, so many times of people that I know I don't know, that I've never seen before, I could just look at them and tell they're not from where I'm from. I'm from down south. You know, like I said, where we have black homeboys, we have Spanish homeboys. You feel me? And I remember I was just sitting there and I'd look over and they'd look at me and their whole face would glow up like they got a new white boy that could be their friend, you know? And I remember saying in my head like, damn, this motherfucker gonna try to be friendly with me. I already know. They come up, hey man, don't I know you? Hey man, where do I know you from? Why you look for me? They try all the littlest things to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Literally. I never once throughout my bid had somebody of a different race do that. Like I've had people come up and open up conversations, but I never once made eye contact with one of them and seen his face glow and him come up and try to be friendly, like for real. If someone were to do that from a different race, I'd know they might think I'm sweet like one of these other white boys. So now it went off in their head, bing, let me try to play friendly with them to finesse them. And I'll shut that shit down off rip because they're coming from a different reason. They're coming to act like they're your friends so they can see what they can get out of you because they're used to putting down on all white boys. And they know white boys 9 times out of 10 will break it off if they're not affiliated. Compared to a white boy seeing you, he's coming because he's looking for a friend for real. Because he wants to have backup to make it look like he's got somebody with him. And if somebody tries him and y'all are dogs, you know, he feels like you'll back him. You know, that's a totally different thing. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like when people try to talk bad to the fact that I get along with other people, like other races, you know, it isn't that I got anything against my own color, you know, but at the same time, like, I would not want to be like any of my own color inside of prison. Because the way that their bid was compared to the way that my bid was, and I've had some crazy, dangerous experiences while in prison, but it was just the fact that it felt a whole lot better having respect, you know, and having my neck on the line, taking risks and doing shit than it did to curl up and be labeled like a bitch or scared or soft or a check-in or someone on PC, you know, or a hold down man. You know, I would never, ever want that type of title on me compared to getting involved in shit. And anybody who's watching this that's been to prison inside of Florida that isn't white will tell you, you know, and will know. It's very rare when you come across a white boy that's cool as hell that's living like that. You know, you might have some you come across that are living like that, you feel me, that nobody really likes though, because they feel like they're above and beyond everybody, which, you know, I'm not like that. But coming across a cool ass white boy that is living like that is very, very rare and very different, you know. And then you got ones that pick faces. See, that's another thing. There'll be white boys in there that'll fight him, buck the call out on him, fight him, buck that call out, fight him. They pick faces. For anyone who did time with me when I was locked up will tell you, I ain't pick faces. I ain't give a damn what color you was or what gang you was in. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I got to make it home to my peoples just like they did. You see? So I can't let no one belittle me. And I'm still the same way to this day on the streets with my own homeboys. If my homeboys do something, I'll catch it in my mind. And if I feel like they're getting off or they said something slick, I catch it and I call them right out on it. I've fallen out with so many homeboys of mine that I know because I be thinking the worst off of what someone would say or someone would do, or I think that they would try to do something to get over on me, be pet. I've always been that type that will stand up. I'm far from a green bean. You get what I'm saying? I'm sharp, you know, and I'm only like this not because I'm just a white boy. I'm like this because I'm a white boy that gets along with every race. You understand? I been around these type of situations and scenarios. I can peep the energy. The same thing a lot of white boys can't that have shit against blacks and Spanish. You see? So don't hate me because I can hang with whatever crowd, you feel me? And you can't. You see, that's the thing. I get so many hate comments. I'm a waste of good blood and yada yada. Like real deal, like hatred stuff. You know, all because I got homeboys of different colors. You see? But which made me want to do this video to tell y'all the truth about the white boys in prison. How it be. You see them all doing drugs and beating each other up. That's all they really do. That's all they really do. The ones that aren't affiliated are getting high 9 times out of 10. Literally, that's it. They're getting high 9 times out of 10. Or they're trying to get a real good job, like being the person that teaches you GED. Or, you know, being the fucking captain's, you know, assistant or run around his orderly. You know, they try to do things to stay away, to just get their time and get up out of there. But as far as being around people, being in the mix and not letting nobody push you up out of your dorm or put down on you or rob you or extort you or make you check in, and being a white boy and being able to, you know, mingle in whatever type of situation, I'd take that any day than having to low key, you know, make my way through. You feel me? Or get part of an organization just so I have people the same color as me. Like, that shit is crazy that I feel like people do stuff like that. You feel me? In all reality, being from Florida, you know, being from Florida in general, I find it crazy that there will be whites against blacks, you know? Like, even if you grew up and you had problems with only blacks and you're white, that shouldn't make it to where you hate their whole race. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest. You feel me? Just like, same thing from the black scenario. You know, if they hate the police, they hate crackers, you know, stuff like that, so bad that, you know, some of them take it out on whites. But not all whites are bad. You feel me? Some of the closest people that I met in my life that I'm cool as hell with, that are my closest friends, are black, you know, and are Spanish. You get what I'm saying? I don't hold the problems that I had with different colors against people with colors. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense to me. You know, now when you go farther up Florida, when you start going up towards the Panhandle up that way, it gets real country up there. So it makes sense why they want to act like they're against blacks, because they live in little towns where, say the population was 5,000, and out of the 5,000 there might be 300 blacks. So they're raised like that. And they're still again. But then when they go to prison, if they're not in a gang, them same white boys like that, if they're not in a gang, they curl. They be spooked. The same people that hate against different colors don't hold their own against them same colors they hate when they find themselves locked up. The only ones that do that are when they're in a gang. And every institution I went to while locked up down here in Florida, every single clique of Unforgivens, which is the white gang, they didn't have near as many numbers as all the other gangs. And every time I seen the shit going on between gangs, it was never Unforgivens doing nothing. It was always other gangs. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know there could be dangerous people in all organizations, you know, and I knew some Unforgivens that were my dogs, you feel me? But at the same time, it's to where a lot of them just come to becoming a gang member just because they want to link with the people that are against the same shit they're against. And in all reality, I'll see them over there fighting each other, doing violations in our dorm. They be violating each other, fighting each other, beating each other up. And all the other gangs are looking at them like, yeah, the only time they see them do something is to their own. You get what I'm saying? And I know it can be different in other places. You know, I know that shit's probably deeper on the streets than it is up the road. But one thing about it, you cannot only hang out with your color if your color is the smallest amount of population that there is at an institution. Because if that's the case, then you limited yourself. You made it to where you have barely any access to anything. If you're gonna only hang out with whites and you land in an institution where there's only 50 whites that are actually repping what you're repping, you know, that's a whole big ass chunk missing of other color races. You get what I'm saying? And when I sit back and I look at it, I would never want to be one of them type of white boys that got put down on, beat up, broke it off, got put on PC, made a hold down man, made to be a fall man, was scared, washing people's fucking clothes in the sink, cleaning people's bowls after they eat, making people's beds. Like, I would never want to be one of those. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like the people who hate on me for the fact that I wasn't one of those would be one of those type of people. They've never been in any type of situation where they can stand and hold their own. And that's what made me want to come on here and tell y'all how white boys really are in prison down here on the East Coast. You see what I'm saying? Some people are going to like it. Some people ain't. But I'll tell you what. Whether you like it or not, it's facts. It is straight facts. You know what I'm saying? When you get farther up in the Panhandle at these institutions that are farther up top in Florida where it's more country at, you'll realize the work camps filled with all the whites. The guards are favoritism. They take all the whites that look like solid stand-up whites that are against blacks and Spanish, and they take them out of the main compound and put them in the work camp so their time will be a little less, you know, hard on them. And when you go there, it's ran by white boys. So it's white boys that think they're running shit, but really, you're at a work camp. You're not at the main pound. So they took you from a pound that's got 1,800 inmates, and they moved you over here to a pound that's got 300. You see what I'm saying? And literally, out of the 300 that are there, 255 of them will be white. You see? That's what makes it to where there's barely any at the main camp, which is the jungle, which is where it really goes down at. which is where you can get in trouble constantly and get put in confinement and come back out. You get in trouble at the work camp one time, they bring your ass straight to the box at the main compound, and then you got to wait to drop your custody to go back to the work camp. So nobody wants to risk ruining the work camp. You get what I'm saying? And I know this firsthand because I only lasted 5 days when they brought me to a work camp. I went there Thursday and was back Tuesday. Didn't even get to try the chicken over there. You see what I'm saying? That's how I know. And when I was there, it was all white inmates. The tattoo men were white. All the guards were real racist against me and everything. So I know. You get what I'm saying? And it'd be them same people that act like they held their own when they were locked up. But in reality, your ass got spared from the get-go because you went from an 1,800 inmate population to a 300. Anybody can do that. If I wanted to take over an institution that was only 300 strong, that shit would be easy, like a piece of cake. Because money gets anything done. You know? Literally. And then that's what makes people think that they are able to hold their own and they stood tall and they did what they did. In all reality, man, they got spared by a guard who was repping the same shit they was due to their skin color. You see what I'm saying? So me, purposely, I'd rather be exactly who I am, Frog, than to be considered a white boy inside a prison. No, I would not want to be that. That is like the bottom when it comes to doing time down here in Florida. Only because they make themselves the bottom by letting all the other people put down on them, rob them, extort them, and etc. You feel me? But anyways, y'all already know, man. Drop what you need to drop inside the comment section. That's what it's there for. What was it like where you were at? Okay? If you was locked up somewhere where it had a high population of blacks, I know for a fact that it wasn't 9 times out of 10 blacks or Spanish that were hold down, man. Or ones that were getting picked on, beat up, or extorted. Because one thing about it that I will tell you before I wrap this up is even if the black or the Spanish person doesn't gangbang and they're being picked on by a different race, them other races are going to rise for them. Whites don't do that down here in the state of Florida. If I was in there by myself right now and nobody even knew me yet and I got in some shit with a black or some shit with a Spanish, the white boys are not going to jump up and rock with me. They're not. They're going to leave me in that water. And then even if I stand up for myself and then I rock out with whoever I got to rock out with, then they're probably going to come and try to recruit me. And be like, man, yeah, man, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. But they're going to leave me in that water. You feel me? And then even if they do know I'm living like that, they'll leave me in that water. That's how it goes. But them other races, they got more loyalty of their race. They stand up regardless, whether that person gangbangs or not. I'm just being honest with you. You see, and that's how it goes. You feel me? But drop it in the comments. Let me know how it is, man. Where you're from or what you think on this. Because at the end of the day, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I don't give a damn what color or what race you are. Frog fuck with you. That's simple. I don't pick faces. I don't pick and choose. I don't live off of colors. I see right through the color shit. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking to somebody or I know somebody or I don't know somebody, I'm looking them in their face expression, their eyes, their soul. I'm talking to them. I don't give a damn what color they're made out of. And that's just me. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. I'm going to wrap this one up. I appreciate y'all watching. Like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this the one and only, I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though. Cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.